NDLA does a good job, but we don't actually see the kingpin being prosecuted. See, these people you are seeing are foot soldiers. There are people behind them. Except people behind them are not stopped. Yeah, you can throw dynamite and bomb this rock and whatever it is and all of that. But if those people are not stopped, the people behind the crystal meth thing, because I don't think it was all those shabby-looking Mexican guys that are funneling that trade close to $1 trillion for the crystal meth that was discovered in Ogun State. I don't think it's way deeper than that. Just like the insecurity report that is saying over 30,000 young people. I mean, it just shows that Nigeria is a ticking time bomb. How can you have 30,000 people being used for nefarious activities? You can now see why Ezekwesili wrote that letter, that we failed our young people.
All right.
30,000 people moving around, militancy causing, and these are the ones that they could track. What about the other ones? Yeah. So that's the future. Yeah. But Oji, are we surprised? I'm very sure that children are part of them. Didn't we see pictures of children wearing military fatigues after our soldiers have been killed that time? So we are going back into that slippery slope of disaster that if the government does not do something, we don't move forward. Oji, we need to move to the next.
Former Minister of Education, Ezekwesili, in a blistering Children's Day statement, issued a direct warning to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, state governors and National Assembly, and Nigeria's entire political class not to dare open their mouths to wish Nigerian children a happy Children's Day. Ezekwesili declared that the government have no moral standing and described Children's Day in Nigeria as a national day of shame. She also accused the political class of abandoning, betraying, and condemning Nigerian children to lives of suffering. Now, Ezekwesili also attached a full list of the Oyo kidnapped victims alongside deeply disturbing photographs showing children in their school uniforms lying on the bare ground. If you have that picture, you know, some were bearing visible wounds, a haunting testament to the reality of Nigeria's insecurity crisis. I mean, look at that list, Vimbai. I mean, there were about 46, people on that list from just that Oyo kidnapping. And I'm sure that you saw the pictures. If our producers can pull up the picture that's been trending online, showing these children lying on bare ground and, wearing their school uniform. Very heartbreaking. You cannot, fault her for saying, it's a national day of shame, because on Children's Day, you have children still in captivity. Even yesterday, there was a trend where celebrities were all out there, advocating for our children to be brought back home. Ezekwesili also cited the approximately 19 million Nigerian children who do not attend school due to the threat of kidnappings, poverty, and cultural factors, accusing political leaders of neglecting children while enjoying public resources. She closed with a final devastating line. A government that cannot protect its children has forfeited the right to celebrate them.
100%. We are busy politicking. We are going to the lengths and breadths, north, east, west, south of the nation, canvassing for votes. We are celebrating, 1 million votes, this number of millions of votes and so forth. That's what's on the front burner. That's what's number one on the agenda. They are playing Stand Up for the Champion. They're doing, and in all of this, where are the children of the elites? They're in private schools, they're chauffeur-driven, they're sitting in homes with AC where they're watching Coco Melon and enjoying whatever snack they desire to have that day. That's the duplicity of the reality of young children, young people in this nation, and it is devastating. Look at these ages. I mean, my children fall into these age groups, which is 4 and 2. And I can't fathom them going more than 12 hours without their mom or without their guardian, without somebody they know, without something familiar, just all comfort snatched from them for 13 days. It's now rainy season. What's their condition? It's just absolutely devastating that this is not the primary thing on our agenda and that we're more concerned with 2027 permutations. So absolutely, was it, no, you sang a different song. I was singing yesterday, Whitney Houston, Greatest Love of All, where she says, I believe the children are our future. Yeah. What future are we setting ourselves up for? Because when we now look at the trajectory of the nation, we look at the trajectory of other African nations specifically, and And we continue to complain and we say, oh, there's a cycle of poverty, there's a cycle of violence, there's a cycle of this. But we're the ones allowing it to be entrenched, because once these children are so traumatized at this age, what are we expecting to be the product of this violence? It's violent culture that breeds violent culture. So a lot has to be done, Oji, but let's begin by bringing them home, the ones in Borno State, and then also the ones that remain out there who may have gotten lost in the cracks, because we always argue that a lot of this is underreported.
Right.
So those who have slipped through the cracks as well, everybody should be brought home. But also, what is home?
Yes.
Is a home a conducive environment?
Yeah.
What are we doing? 1.3 million people displaced. So what are we calling coming home? So there's so many fundamental issues that have broken down. But let's start by at least bringing them home. And then we now need to figure out what social welfare looks like for these young people. Are they going to be rehabilitated? The psychological support they're going to need is it's devastating,
really
devastating and unfair, because
like
they have done nothing to deserve this.
Absolutely. They have done nothing
as well
to deserve this.
So,
But
you see, I don't know what has happened to our politicians. They've become desensitized from the pain and suffering of the people. I mean, so how can Mrs. Tinubu and Mr. Tinubu wish Happy Children's Day at a time where you have children in captivity? See, if it was me, Oji, I will border on the children in captivity. I will come out as Commander-in-Chief and say the efforts that are being made to be able to get them back. And I will dwell more on that. And in fact, I will be the one to declare that there is nothing to celebrate because of the pain of their parents. And you know what I will do next? I will go to that community. President Tinubu has not gone to that community. Audrey.
in Oyo.
Can you imagine?
In Oyo.
That was how he did in Jos. He went to Jos, he entered the airport, he didn't go beyond the airport. He has not even go to that community in Oyo and say the parents, okay, I am fighting to bring your children back home. No concern, nothing. They are busy counting 11-point-something million votes for him. And some people have the temerity to say, he already has 11.70 million votes in the next election already, when you are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see that's why Ezekwesili is saying that we have lost a nation. Can you imagine? Kids have been kidnapped for, it is 13 days now, Oji.
13
going to
days.
2 weeks. Yes,
13 days.
13 days, going to 2 weeks.
46 Nigerians out there.
We are celebrating Children's Day. Oji, there was a stampede yesterday in Edo. I think I heard on the radio today. Children were tear gassed. A lot of them were taken to the hospital. That's how we celebrate Children's Day. 13 days after, they've just been sending messages. It's VDM they know how to chase. Look at them, Oji. Till today, President Tina has not even said, okay, let me fly in there. Let me go and see them. And they want the people's votes.